morning. Welcome to yet another session of MS Talks. Today, we are going to be talking about a very interesting initiative that we at MS Events are organizing called the Arab Green Summit, or TAGS as we like to call it fondly. Joining us today, we have two very interesting gentlemen who will be sharing their opinions and their views. To begin with, we have Dr. Jagannathan, who is our conference chairman. He is very well known in the industry as an expert on energy, sustainability, and climate action, and has over 25 years of experience in this domain. He specializes in providing strategic advice on sustainability and climate action. And in his previous role as the head of sustainability at Rakis, he was also involved with regulations surrounding built environments to drive energy efficiency, green building codes, and certification. And he has also been known to play a very active part in the committee for the 2040 Master Plan. Alongside Dr. Jagan, we have Mr. Ivano Iannelli joining us. He is the CEO of the ESG Foundation. Ivano is very well known in the GCC as one of the foremost experts in the field of sustainability and carbon emission management. He is currently the board director of the ESG Foundation and a subject matter expert in environmental economics and low carbon strategies. He also has extensive experience in facilitating economically relevant low carbon pathways. Over to you, Dr. Jagan.
Thanks, Pritka, for the lovely introduction. Hi, Ivano, how are you?
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
Thank you. Ivano, I remember you were one of the first persons I reached out to you when I was drawing the blueprint of the Arab Green Summit. And when I touched base this topic upon you, you said the topic is timely. I remember what you said, the solution is in differentiating the product. Those were your words exactly way back in September. Now, TAGS has reached this form. You have seen the agenda built in, and you have got the sectors and the lineup of speakers and the overall paraphernalia. So, how do you see the TAGS from your perspective?
Well, Jagan, I have to start at the beginning. When I received your first message, I was like, "Oh no, not another one." But it was through the interaction that I came to appreciate the event and the framework. Essentially because it was very collaborative, very collegiate, allowing us to actually shape it in the way we could focus on the advocacy needed. When we started talking, I was working towards COP26, and I had my very strict agenda of what I wanted to achieve. And again, you were putting together an event, the first of its kind, and you wanted to do it differently from the boilerplate of pink and fluffy that you would have found anywhere else. Well, actually, I would have to say green and fluffy. So this is not a platform where we are patting each other on the back saying, yeah, we did good. This is a platform where we are pushing conventional business practices to achieve a very difficult target of net zero by 2050. And you can count on me. I will spare no judgment. I will try to challenge every single one in operationalizing all their commitments.
Thank you so much. Nice to hear this perspective. And when you said COP26, that reminds me of the next point. You were one of those who visited Glasgow to attend the COP26, and you were witness to a lot of discussions, deliberations, and you would have seen the high-level negotiations also. Seeing from the global context and bringing back to the MENA region, just a few words on how do you see the barriers to general sustainability? We'll come to climate action led, a broad level of sustainability for MENA. How do you see that?
Well, what I find in the region is a lot of ambition, a lot of entrepreneurship, and willingness to lead. This is a fantastic approach when you have to put change into consideration. And again, everybody will tell you change is difficult, change is bad. That's not entirely true, because I believe nobody who wins a lottery will complain about that kind of change. What we all fear is being outside of our comfort zone. So obviously, whenever we talk about climate change, we talk about sustainability, the biggest personal and business fear is that we will not be able to continue doing what we do the way we do, with the way we are accustomed to. Now, when we look at sustainability in the Middle East, is a lot easier than anywhere else in the world. Society here is by far a lot more dynamic, a lot more young, a lot more friendly towards change. Whereas when you take mature economies from Europe as an example, they carry so much baggage that change, even though it's inevitable, it's a lot harder to implement.
In fact, it's a very good point that you mentioned, like this region is ambitious and aspirational. Now, I bring back the topic of the Arab Green Summit, which you, as you would have known, is a genuine attempt to support the government and bring the people together, or varied stakeholders, or multi-industries, or whatever. Now, I'm going to add or put three questions in line with this particular topic, Ivano. Alongside COP26, there were two major announcements that would be of definite interest and passion to you. One is the decision of UAE to go 2050, net zero by 2050. So it's no longer ambition or aspiration. It is a sort of a commitment that we have to deliver. And the second, another point that's more interesting is the point that COP28 is going to be held in UAE. And that's a discussion, again, I remember having with you and Korea were contenders and you were just driving back from the airport to Dubai. So in the context of these points, how, in your opinion, would a summit such as the Arab Green Summit, a genuine one, would help bring the stakeholders to create awareness on sustainability, to help a region to reach net zero, and help UAE to deliver COP28? In whatever ways you feel a summit of this kind could contribute?
Jagan, in premise, the biggest key outcome for me out of COP28 was the approval of Article 6, essentially carbon markets. And funny enough, I had left Glasgow, boarded the plane, knowing that there was no way it was going to get approved, landed, looked at my phone, and received message upon message, approved. So that was the biggest surprise for me. But in the context of COP28 in the UAE and net zero strategic initiative, the opportunity is quite simple. So if you look at it from an operational point of view, every company's got scope 1 and scope 2 emissions, which are direct and indirectly within your abilities to shape and utilize. Scope 3 emissions, supply chain, your operating environment, is a lot larger and very difficult to manage. So if we look at the framework of tax within a net zero ambition, the greatest opportunity comes in the establishment of net zero clubs amongst private sector. Because essentially, if you and I are companies in each other's value chains, your ambition to decarbonize in 2050 aligns with mine, and therefore you are decarbonizing my scope 3 emissions. And in doing so, the idea of gaining private sector momentum, building towards the launch of a net zero private sector club at COP28 would be a fantastic outcome for any platform.
Thanks, Ivano. The carbon market or the carbon trading, the point that you mentioned as part of COP28 and Article 6. Now, you are a specialist or expert in carbon management, carbon trading, and carbon market. And this region is going towards net zero. It's no longer as ambition, it's a commitment, and every sectors have to decarbonize. And from that perspective, how do you see the carbon market or carbon trading concept proliferating in this region and UAE in specific?
You will see a very large focus on carbon markets in the next couple of years. Okay. At the moment, the UAE enterprise is subject to carbon markets indirectly. directly. So for those companies that, for example, import in Europe, as of 2023, they would have to declare their product carbon footprint. And again, it's not until 2026 that they have to pay for their product's carbon emission. But this creates a couple of very tangible milestones. One is the fact that companies will have to start assessing and validating product carbon footprint. And the second is that there's going to be hundreds of millions of euros to be paid to the EU for carbon compliance. So if countries that import in the EU are savvy, they will try to launch local carbon markets to retain those amounts within their own GDPs, within their own economies.
Okay, that's interesting. Ivano, I think I'll wrap with one final question. You're going to be speaking at the event at TAGS on sustainable MENA and the challenges. Of course, every challenges are going to have, there are going to be barriers, and you are the one who focuses on opportunities. So how are you going to drive the narrative with the stakeholders when you speak at TAGS, Ivano?
Well, I'm going to show them exactly the cost of not taking action vis-a-vis specific investment opportunities that could grow businesses and revenue streams that are currently not even tapped. So essentially, this is an opportunity to make money more sustainably, more efficiently, and let's not be mammoths. Let's avoid getting extinct and just align ourselves to the new practices.
Wow, that's exciting. In fact, I would love to look forward to that. And thanks once again, Ivano, and see you at TAGS. Have a good day.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Jagan and Ivano, and we look forward to seeing you at TAGS.